You've heard Sophie talk this morning about the National Demolition Training Group and what they're doing training up to management level. What I'm here to talk about now is individuals. The IDE is slightly different to the NFDC, that we're an organisation for individuals, and I just want to talk about how we can also add to what we need in the demolition industry in the UK. I believe that we understand demolition techniques and how to carry out different types of demolition. We may not all be experts in everything, but I'm sure that within the members of the IDE, we've covered virtually every type of demolition that there is. First of all, why in the UK are we different to other countries? Let's just look at tower block demolition. That's how they do it in China. Massive country, loads of development going on, but they do things a little bit different to us. I'd be concerned, first of all, the size of the machines that are up there. That's one thing that would worry me. The fact that they just push the debris over the edge, that would also worry me. And also the fact that you can't quite see it in the photograph, but the guy in the middle has actually got a hard hat on, and I don't understand what's going to hit him other than maybe a jumbo jet flying over. So they do it slightly differently. I'd like to think in the UK we don't do it like that. So we do it this way. William showed you a fantastic video early on of Red Road, which I'm really pleased to be involved with. This is one of NFDC members collaborating. This is Coleman and Company, who are principal contractor, and Robinson and Birdsall, who did the actual explosives demolition. So if I can just get this to run. This is one for Glasgow Housing Association. Holly's going to look at this with interest and realise that the one tower block doesn't quite do what it should do. But it still comes down fairly well. Didn't go spot on to plan, but it got there. The relationship first with the NFDC. NFDC membership is for businesses that intend to show they are the best in the business. They've come a long way over the last few years. The audit scheme has really moved them to another level. The training scheme through the NDTG proves now that the CCDO card is accepted throughout. I had a long discussion yesterday with an HSE inspector in Birmingham as to why CCDO cards is the way to go. And they believe that if they're doing anything that's structural demolition, must be CCDO. So that's really good. The message is getting out there. IDE membership's slightly different. It's for individuals within those businesses to show that they are the best in the business. So what I'm asking you now is, if you're not IDE members and you're working for NFDC companies, then really I want to see you applying, please. Let's get more members in there that we can say things move forward. How do we judge competence? I often get asked, let's judge competence of a demolition contractor. It's judged in a number of ways. First one, everybody will go to CDM Appendix 4. 13 sections, you work through it. Do they satisfy those 13 sections? That's a long way towards saying yes, the company is competent. You also need to look at their track record. Have they done anything similar before, etc. But that's an important part of it. The NFDC CHAS accreditation now ticks those boxes. So it goes a long way towards it. So when you've got a tick member of the NFDC, a lot of the work that we need to do on Appendix 4 has been done for us. That's really good. A trained workforce. Again, this is a problem. A lot of people apply for pre-quals and they say that they have a fully trained workforce. When they actually send the training matrix in, what they mean is, we think we've got a fully trained workforce, but we actually forgot about this and we actually forgot about that. So the message is getting out, but we still need to do more, really. Competent management. The Demolition Manager Scheme through the NDTG has been running for nearly 2 years now. Myself and Roy Brown are delivering it. The course changes slightly as new legislation comes in. And you've already heard Howard talk at length this morning about the ACT Centre, integral part of days 4 and 5 of the management course. There's quite a few people in the room who've done the manager course, and I'm sure they'll agree that it works pretty well. I'm pleased to say that the guys who were on here who attended, that we don't have any scaffolders and we don't have any cladders with us today, because that's always been an issue of working with other trades particularly. And another one for me, policies that work on site. Lots of people are good at writing fantastic policies that lie in a folder on the shelf in the office. But let's see how they actually translate down to the workforce. Let's see that the workforce understand what they're going to do, and that will reduce injuries right across the board in incidents. We've just had a revision to 6187. Wayne, who's sitting at the front here, worked on that, along with Terry Cornby and 1 or 2 others. And now if you look in Annex A 123, demolition engineers are mentioned. Took a long time to get there, but we are mentioned. We're now being accepted as a true engineering trade. The IDE are affiliated now to the Engineering Council, so the credibility of the IDE is rising. And I believe that we are a good demonstration of competence. This is always a thorny issue. Contractor and designer. You're a demolition contractor. Are you a designer under CDM? Anyone writing a demolition method for a design collapse of a structure is a designer under CDM, which means you're wearing an entirely different hat, which means an entirely different level of competence. Make sure the person writing it has got the competence to write it and is qualified to do so. That's important. And don't wait until you're in court to decide whether or not they are competent. A full member of the IDE confirms the competence. So that's why the message goes out to people with demolition companies, please get your applications in for the IDE. Proof of competence is IDE membership at MIDE level. I've taken a lot of stick in my 2 years as president that we have lost some IDE members. We lost 26 last year, we're going to lose another 47 shortly because people have failed to progress through the ranks and failed to do CPD. Unfortunately, sometimes when you grow a rosebud you have to prune it hard to make sure it flowers better. And that's what we're going to do. They need to keep up-to-date CPD. I was asked, why have the IDE decided I need to do CPD? We didn't decide, it's written in CDM. CDM's been out since '94 in its original guise, so it's always been there. We must do CPD. You're doing CPD today. We must keep that going. The way the membership works, entrant. That means you're accepted in as we think you can enter the organisation. You then pass the exam and become AMIDE. Then complete a 2-year professional portfolio, attend a professional interview, and then become a full member. What I would like to have done while I was president, but it'll be up to Steve Jack to do this now as I come out of the chair in November, is do away with AMIDE as a membership grade. I think we should have entrant and then full member. It removes any confusion. It's crystal clear then. And then, of course, fellows. I believe that IDE members are problem solvers, as is the demolition industry. I'm sick and fed up of hearing that all demolition contractors do is come on site, steal the copper and run away, when you all know it's the grade 316 stainless we want as well as the copper. People are starting to realise that we actually know what we're doing. People are realising that CDM says choose a competent contractor and basically leave him to it. So the message is getting out there. NFDC members are the way to go. NFDC members with IDE members, definitely the way to go. And I believe that the demolition industry generally turns clients' dreams into realities. We turn up sometimes and look at something and the client says, we'd like that removed please, probably by next Wednesday would be nice, and we want to build something in its way, and that's what we do. We scratch our heads, we walk away, we think about it, and we come back and do it. Gary said before about the Demolition Awards, the World Demolition Awards. Not just UK contractors. You look at some of the entries, and I'm lucky enough to have been a judge since the start of the awards. Some of the projects that get done, the engineering work involved is fantastic, and people don't give us the credit we deserve. We are far better skilled than people give us credit for. IDE membership, I believe, sets you apart from the rest. And this is just my take, not the IDE's take. I believe it's individuals demonstrating excellence. So if you're not an IDE member, I'd like you to be one as soon as possible, please. Any questions? No? Great, thank you very much.